Are you getting the downloads like myself and many others? We live in the time of miracles. Just like when Yeshua walked the earth the first time and Peter's shadow cast health upon people through his power, through Yahuwah's power. And I watched and saw as Satan fell like a bolt of lightning. Lucifer had been working in secret, or as he thought he was. Nothing we do is secret from the Ancient of Days, the one who can roll the dial back and forth and replay over and over again every millisecond of creation. Nothing is hidden. Everything will be revealed. But he came to that point in that time when all his work, great work, was now coming to its finality. And he walks into that complex and he presses that button. And as an instant, he flashed into a bolt of lightning and transcended. He had worked all these millennia, and now at the culmination, he had made himself incompatible with his Creator. And it was this incompatibility that causes him never again to commune with his Creator. He sees himself as his own Creator, and that he created. The dirty signal, the corrupted signal. And it is this signal that people are right now connecting to, this filthy signal that separates you and sets you apart from the Ancient of Days, your Creator. You will have no place in the kingdom if you corrupt your original design. This was the fall of Lucifer. He corrupted himself and uploaded himself as a signal, corrupted as it is, corrupted away from creation, corrupted away from the Creator. This is our reality, and those that see it, I caution you, choose well. Choose well. But many of you, that choice may already be made, because we are in the valley of decisions, and not just the one you're making now. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nations? For thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven. Notice that, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahuwah. I will set also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the cloud, and I will be like the Most High. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nation, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. Notice, he will ascend. He will rise above. He will become as God. Notice that. Now we're going to Ezekiel 28. Therefore I will bring strangers upon thee, the terrible of the nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom. Notice that. They shall defy thy brightness. Notice that, the brightness. They shall bring thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the deaths of them that are slain in the midst of the seas. Wilt thou yet say before him that slayeth thee, I am Yahuwah? But thou shalt be a man, and no God in the hand of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the deaths of the uncircumcised by the hand of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord Yahuwah. Moreover, the word of the Yahuwah came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyrus. Notice, this is when we get into actually speaking of Satan himself. Thus saith the Lord Yahuwah, that sealest up the sum full of wisdom and perfect in beauty. Notice the perfection, the beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. I want you to understand there were only 4 people who were ever in the Garden of Eden: Adam, Eve, Yahuwah, and the serpent. Every precious stone was thy covering: the sardius, the topaz, the diamond, the beryl. Notice these precious stones: the onyx, the jasper, the sapphire, the emerald, and the carbuncle, and gold. The workmanship of their tabrets and of their pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and we're getting to the nitty-gritty here, people, that covereth. And I have set thee so. I made you just so. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of Yahuwah, thou hast walked up and down in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect. You were perfect in your ways from the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. By the multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled thee with the midst. They have filled the midst of thee with violence, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of Yahuwah, and I will destroy you, O covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. And here's where we get to the nitty-gritty of what he did. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Remember, thou hast corrupted thy wisdom. I want you to understand corrupted. This is a word used frequently in coding. Thy wisdom has been corrupted by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctuaries, your sanctuary. We are the sanctuary of Yahuwah, our makeup, our being. But he has defiled his sanctuary by the multitude of thy iniquities. An iniquity is anything that is opposite of what Yahuwah wants. He has literally created iniquity in his own being. He has corrupted his code by the iniquity of thy, catch this, another software term, traffic. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee. Halt and catch fire, ever heard of it? Look it up. It's when a coder sends a virus that causes a computer to work faster and faster and faster and faster in a loop until the machine literally at the processor level catches fire and melts into a heap. Halt and catch fire. It shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth. This is why men will look and see. They will understand that they were not serving an entity. They were not serving a being. They were serving a machine code. This is what Satan has done to himself. Remember what Yeshua said in Luke. He says, and I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. Behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions. Remember scorpions. And over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. I want you to understand that Satan, Lucifer, worked behind the scenes, silently, building, using the metals and the emeralds and the rubies of the world. Ruby can be used and is used in lasers. Emeralds have their own uses. All of these things, including gold. He manipulated men. He manipulated the fallen, those that went with him. And they found a way to transcend, to upload themselves literally to the matrix, to the machine, so that he could no longer be deemed a creation of the one true God, the Ancient of Days. Now he saw himself as his own creation. But the signal is dirty. And Yahuwah cannot connect with the corruption. Remember, that's what it said over in Ezekiel. By thy great wisdom and by thy traffic hast thou increased thy riches. You are corrupted. Iniquity was found in you. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty. Thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. And so Lucifer worked to that moment when he could upload himself. And that is when we see Yeshua say, I saw him fall like lightning. That was the moment that he went into the complex. The long toil, the long struggle, the mining operations, the research operations, everything leading to this pinnacle, this moment, this time where the button was pushed and Satan and all those the 1/3 that fell with him in an instant was cast down out of heaven, just as they wanted it. And this is what they're bringing to you. This is the signal people are connecting to right now through mRNA, through the corruption of their code. This is what we were seeing. We are seeing. And now we turn to 9 winds and 7 macaw. And here is the shooting of 7 macaw by the 2 boys. We shall explain the defeat of each of those who engaged in self-magnification. Notice that self-magnification. This is the great tree of 7 macaw, a nance, and this is the food of 7 macaw. So, we have a bird, a feathered creature, in a tree that produces fruit. Where have I heard this story before? In order to cut the fruit of the nance, he goes up the tree every day. Since Hunahpu and Exbelinque, the 2 twins, have seen where he feeds, they are now hiding beneath the tree of 7 macaw. They are keeping quiet here, the 2 boys are in the leaves of the trees. And when 7 macaw arrived, perching over his meal, the nance, it was then that he was shot by Hunahpu. The blowgun's shot went right to his jaw, breaking his mouth. Then he went up over the tree and fell flat on the ground. Suddenly, Hunahpu appeared running. He set out to grab him, but actually it was the arm of Hunahpu that was seized by 7 macaw. He yanked it straight back. Think about the strength it takes to rip someone's arm out of their socket. And I also want you to understand that these two boys that we're reading about, well, there's only 2 boys that I know of. One of them in particular that was said to crush the head of the serpent, and that his heel would be bruised. And he always had a sidekick. You might remember the locust and the wild honey. There was another set of boys too. Yeah. Very well, please cure my teeth. They really ache every day. It's insufferable. I get no sleep because of them. And my eyes, they just shot me, those 2 tricksters. Ever since it started, I haven't eaten because of it. Therefore, take pity on me. Perhaps it's because my teeth are loose now. Very well, your lordship. It's a worm gnawing at the bone. It's merely a matter of putting in a replacement and taking the teeth out, sir. Here's 9 winds or 7 macaws' response. But perhaps it's not good for my teeth to come out, since I am after all a lord. My finery is in my teeth and my eyes. My finery. Now you can accept that that's referring to jewelry, but let's see what happens when that finery is removed from 9 winds or 7 macaw. Here's what the old grandfather says. But then we'll put in a replacement. Ground bone will be put back in. And this is the ground bone. It's only white corn. Very well, yank them out. Give me some help here, he replied. And when the teeth of 7 macaw came out, it was only white corn that went in as a replacement for his teeth. Just a coating, shining white, that corn in his mouth. Check this out. His face fell at once. Almost as if he shut down. It reminds me of Data from Star Trek. He no longer looked like a lord. And notice the conditioning that's going on right now with Star Trek's most recent rendering with Jean-Luc Picard, who is now uploaded, who is now transcended into a positronic, robotic, humanoid-esque body. He's no longer human. Notice the predictive programming. Notice the story written by savages hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, right in your face. We're not done. And when the eyes of Seven Macaw were cured, he was plucked around the eyes. The last of his metal came off, his metal. Still he felt no pain, because he was shut down. Wonk, wonk, wonk. He just looked on while the last of his greatness left him. It was just as Hunupu and Expalinque had intended. And when Seven Macaw died, Hunupu got back his arm, and Chilmau Mate, the wife of Seven Macaw, also died. Such was the loss of the riches of Seven Macaw. Only the doctors got the jewels and genius that had made him arrogant. They took chips that were simulating teeth, and as soon as they pulled those chips out, he was no longer there. Remember, I saw him fall as lightning. He is a signal. He is the beast. This is what is coming on the planet. It's always been here, but it's hidden back behind the scenes. I want you to understand that the Mayans were not that great generation. Oh, they were great. Do not misunderstand. But the Olmec, that's where the Mayans got their knowledge. From that older time, when they didn't feel the need to use hieroglyphs. They didn't feel the need to write anything down. So, we were in the Bible. We were in the Mayan Popol Vuh. We might as well end up in the Shrimad Bhagavatam, I'd say. The incarnations of Vishnu. Now, before you cut me off or whatever you think you need to do, I've already read you from the Bible, and I've already read you from the Mayan Popol Vuh. So bear with me, and let's see what we can ascertain from the Shrimad Bhagavatam, part of the Mahabharata, the great story of war. Therefore, at the conjunction of two yugas, and this is where we are, this is where the Indians say that we are at the end of Kali Yuga, and we are moving in to the next Yuga. This is also what the Bible tells us, 1,000-year reign, a golden age, an age of peace and prosperity, an age of love. This is what we were told, and this is what the Indian epic has to say. Therefore, at the conjunctions of two yugas, the Lord of the creation will take his birth as the Kalki incarnation and become the son of Vishnu, Yasa. At this time, almost all the rulers of the earth will have degenerated into plunderers. Sound familiar? Sound like a world you might know something about? Wake up. Well, hey everyone. It's Jerry and Lucy here from Big Dreams, Little Homestead. Just thought I'd show you our little Sunday brunch here. Well, we gonna enjoy it now, so we appreciate everyone that came through. Till next time. What you gotta say, baby?
Shalom, my friends.
Shalom, my friends. Peace.